So this week we are cooking out of this book, Plenty, by Yotam Ottolenghi. He's a really amazing chef, has a couple other cookbooks, but there's one recipe in particular that we make a lot at home and always come back to.
Once you make it once and get a general feel for the steps, it's really actually more flexible. He himself will even admit that he uses a ton of ingredients, and this recipe is no exception.
As you can see.
I typically just pick 3, whether that be cilantro, parsley, and mint, or you do basil in there. Just trying to choose 3. Tarragon, that's really what's most important.
Now in his book, he likes to talk about how a kind of a unique way of making the couscous, where you have it measured out in a bowl, and then you just pour the hot water or broth, as he suggests to use in the recipe. If you have it, great. If not, great. You pour the broth or water directly onto the couscous and then let it steam itself. Cover it with a towel and let it cook on its own. I'm gonna put some water in here and let this cook up.
In the meantime, I'm gonna start slicing this shallot. We're gonna be caramelizing this on the stove.
Now you do want to try and slice these pretty thin when you're frying them up in the spices and the oil. It just kind of, you don't want a big chunk of onion when you're eating the salad. It's nice to have the rings kind of spread out throughout.
They also caramelize so much faster if you slice them really thinly. All right, so we're just gonna put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of this pan. Great. The first time I made this recipe, I beautifully chopped everything and was just like going at it.
Took a while.
And then got to the part of the recipe where it said, now put it in the food processor. And I was like,
what a waste of time.
are you serious? So don't do that.
All right, so I just kind of took some leaves of the mint off of the stems. You don't really want to blend up the stems of the mint or the tarragon. Those are both like a little bit tougher, a little bit more woody. So I'm just kind of removing those. With the cilantro and the parsley, you can just rough chop like the top part off where most of the leaves are. Here are those onions. Dakota is finally chopping our green chili. This is a serrano chili. The recipe just says a green chili. So we've made it with jalapeno, seeded before, which adds a nice little kick of spice if you like that. Most recipes that use green onions will recommend only using the light green and white parts of the green onion, but I usually use almost the whole thing. Usually the tops are a little scraggly and I won't use those, but
I use, I think, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then the further up I go, I just slice them thinner so that they're...
didn't do that.
No, actually.
I did like the opposite of that.
And they're just not as tough in your mouth.
Hello. So the recipe calls for half a cup of pistachios toasted and roughly chopped. So those are in this little bowl ready to go. Those also get added in at the end. What is about this couscous is that it does not look like we used enough water. I definitely feel like the first couple times I made this, I felt like I did something wrong because we have like this little like couscous cake, as you'll, it like literally it's stuck in there. But all you need to do is just fluff it kind of vigorously with a fork. So just put all of these herbs in here, and we're going to add about 6 tablespoons of olive oil to the bowl.
So you can see that the onions are now caramelized. Some of them have gotten a little bit crispy, but they're just gonna be a nice sweet addition. And I've already salted them, but we'll also add the 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. We're just gonna assemble. So we'll add the couscous, add the herb paste, can't miss a drop, and the green onion, pistachios,
onions. Now this recipe also calls for one last fresh ingredient, which is kind of the best part about this, I think, is just nice arugula, and that just kind of makes this more salady as opposed to just a total grain salad. Tastiness.
I think that's one of the best things about it is it's texturally interesting, and it also has a little bit of sweet from the caramelized shallot, a little bit of spicy from the chili, a little bit of smokiness from the cumin, and a little bit of saltiness from the pistachio.
This is always a winner at any like dinner you go to,
Yeah.
any potluck you can bring it to. Again, like we said, this is a great salad for leftovers. So if you're cooking for the week, for lunches, this is a winner.
Serve it with some grilled chicken and you're good to go.
I thought you were gonna say grilled cheese.
Hard to not feel like a cow eating arugula.
And also, you will have green all over your mouth and in your teeth.
And it's like, I always eat this salad at my desk at work, and someone will say my name, and I'll turn to them, and the arugula will just be hanging out of my mouth, and it's one of those moments where you just can't get it in unless you force it with your hands.